Nikola Tesla never married. He said women were a distraction from his work. He retained his entire life. And in that time, he invented alternating current, the radio, the remote control, and laid the foundation for modern electricity. Muhammad Ali called it his secret weapon. "I don't waste it in bed with women," he said. "It's energy, and I need that energy for the fight." Mike Tyson, at his peak, 5 a.m. training, cold showers, retention. "I was a god," he said. "Nothing could touch me." These men were not monks. They were warriors, and they understood something that most men today have been conditioned to ignore, that what you retain, you become. This video is about what that actually means, beyond the science, beyond the testosterone, beyond everything you have already heard. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you is the part nobody dares to talk about, and the part that changes everything. Napoleon Hill wrote about it in Think and Grow Rich. He called it sexual transmutation. He said, and I am going to quote him directly, "The men of greatest achievement are men with highly developed sex natures. The emotion of sex is an irresistible force. When driven by this emotion, men become gifted with a superpower for action." Hill was not talking about abstinence for its own sake. He was talking about redirection, taking the most powerful energy a man possesses and driving it into something that lasts. Most men spend this energy the moment it arrives. They feel the surge and they release it. Gone. And with it, the clarity, the drive, the creative force that was supposed to build something. The man who retains does not suppress this energy. He redirects it into his work, his vision, his presence, and over time, that energy accumulates into something that most men never experience, because they never held it long enough to find out what it becomes. This is not new. Every ancient tradition knew it. The Taoists called it Jing, life essence. They said losing it depleted your vital force. The Stoics practiced it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." The yogis called it brahmacharya, the practice of preserving vital energy for higher purposes. Even Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology, wrote, "It is impossible to overlook the extent to which civilization is built on the renunciation of instinct." Renunciation, not suppression. Redirection. Every civilization that produced greatness understood this. The man who gives his energy to everything has nothing left for the thing that matters. Here is what no one talks about. Around day 21, something changes. Not physically, something quieter than that. The noise gets softer. Not silent, softer. The constant pull toward distraction, toward stimulation, toward release begins to settle. And in that settling, something else becomes audible. Call it intuition. Call it clarity. Call it the voice that was always there, but could never be heard over the noise. Carl Jung called it individuation, the process of becoming who you actually are, not who your urges made you, not who your environment shaped you, who you actually are. Retention creates the conditions for that process, because the man who is constantly chasing release is never still enough to hear himself. And the man who cannot hear himself cannot find his direction. He can only follow his impulses, and impulses do not build legacies. Still here? Good. Subscribe right now. Because what I'm about to show you is what this practice actually produces at the deepest level. Not the energy, not the testosterone, the identity, The man who comes out on the other side of this. Hit subscribe. Do not wait. Rumi wrote, "Yesterday, I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today, I am wise, so I am changing myself." The man who retains long enough stops trying to change the world through force. He starts changing himself through discipline, and the world responds to that differently. Not because he became louder, because he became more present, more grounded, more himself. The spiritual dimension of retention is not mystical. It is practical. It is the accumulation of private evidence that you are a man who can be trusted. By yourself. Every day you retain, you prove something to your own nervous system. I can want something and not be controlled by the wanting. 30 days of that proof changes how you carry yourself. 60 days changes how you make decisions. 90 days changes who you are. Not dramatically, not in ways others can immediately name, but in the specific quality of a man who has stopped leaking and started building. Gandhi practiced it his entire adult life. He called it the foundation of his strength. A man who is unchaste loses stamina, becomes emasculated and cowardly. He wrote, "He whose mind is not under his own control cannot practice brahmacharya." Isaac Newton, arguably the greatest mind in human history, died a virgin, not by accident, by choice. These men were not suppressing themselves. They were directing themselves toward something that outlasted them, toward work that still exists centuries after they are gone. That is the spiritual dimension of retention, not purity, not restraint for its own sake. The decision to take the most powerful energy you possess and direct it toward the most important work of your life. Napoleon Hill wrote, "The men of greatest achievement are rarely the men who chase the most pleasure. They are the men who have learned to convert pleasure into power." You already have the energy. You have always had it. The question is what you do with it. Most men release it the moment it arrives. And with it, the clarity, the drive, the force that was supposed to build something that lasts. The man who retains is not denying himself. He is investing in the work, in the vision, in the version of himself that does not need external validation because he is too busy building something real. That man is available to you. He has always been available to you. You just have to stop giving away what was supposed to make him. Stay cold. Keep building.